Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajadanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajadanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajadanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajadanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Radha Madhava Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Amana Purana Ki, Jayo Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Shata Shishimara Issa Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki, Srila Prabhupada, the Savior of entire universe Ki, Jayam Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Shata Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Prabhupada Ki, Shri Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Amala Purana Ki Jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Amala Purana Ki Jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Amala Purana Ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Namaste. Sankara Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Hare Krishna. Devotees. So I'll read a little bit for the start from Srila Prabhupada, Transcendental Diary by Hari Shauri. Okay, let's see where I have opened. So it's a pastime from Shri Vrindavan Dham. Hari Shauri Prabhu recalls Prabhupada's reappointment of Hansadutta Swami as GBC for Germany has brought an instant reaction for the devotees there. A telegram came from a German temple president today asking Prabhupada not to send him back because of a controversy. Prabhupada spoke with Hansadutta this evening. He said it was up to him whether he went back or not. Hansadutta, however, asked Prabhupada to decide. He wants to do whatever Prabhupada thinks best, although his inclination is to remain in India. He does not think it will very successful if he returns to Germany. Surprisingly, a letter arrived today from Madhudvisha Prabhu. It is the first time Srila Prabhupada has heard from him since he left in May. In his letter, Madhudvisha addressed accusations that he took $60 from New York when he left. This allegation is new to Srila Prabhupada's ears. He strongly denied any wrongdoing on his part. He also informed Prabhupada about his current conditions. He said he met a girl and intends to get married and hopes to offer a son to Srila Prabhupada. He said that he considers his service not stopped but just slowed down, and that he is still chanting and offering his food. Prabhupada was very happy to hear from him, but because Madhudvisha gave no return address, he could not reply to the letter. A 43-year-old Calcutta scholar, Mr. Ratindranath Ganguly, wrote to ask for an interview with a view to taking up some service in our educational branch. Mr. Ganguly has a master's degree in 3 different subjects and a PhD thesis in English under review. Prabhupada was glad to hear from him and invited him to spend a month in Vrindavan in order to chalk out a program. It is very nice that you have written to me offering your services. This is the mission of all those who have taken their birth as human beings in the land of Bharatvarsha. As stated by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bharat Bhumite Manushya Haila Janma Yara Janma Sattaka Kare Karo Paropakara. Therefore, it is very good that you are taking these instructions of the Lord seriously by surrendering yourself under the direction of His bona fide representative. I'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki, Hari Shauri Prabhu ki. And we start Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, Chapter 3, entitled Hiranyakashipu's Plan to Become Immortal. Text 13, right? 14. Okay. Sanskrit response. Iti vigyapito deve Bhagavan Atma Bhurnirpa Parito Brigu Dakshadyai Yayo Daityeshvarashvaram Iti Vigyapito Divair Bhagavan Atma Bhurnirpa Parito Brigu Dakshadyai Yayo Daityeshvarashramam Iti Vigyapito Divair Bhagavan Atma Bhurnirpa Parito Brigu Dakshadyai Yayo Daityeshvarashramam. Please, anyone? Mataji? Okay, word by words. Iti, thus. Vigyapitaha, informed. Devai, by all the demigods. Bhagavan, the most powerful. Atmabu, Lord Brahma, who was born from a lotus flower. Nripa, O king. Paritaha, being surrounded. Brigu, by Brigu. Daksha, Daksha. Adye, and others. Yayo, went. Daitya Ishvara, of Hiranyakashipu, the king of all Daityas. Ashramam, to the place of austerity. Okay, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. And maybe I can read one more verse with a bigger purport. No problem. O king, being thus informed by the demigods, the most powerful, Lord Brahma, accompanied by Bhrigu, Daksha, and other great sages, immediately started for the place where Hiranyakashipu was performing his penances and austerities. Purport. Lord Brahma was waiting for the austerities performed by Hiranyakashipu to mature so that he could go there and offer benedictions according to Hiranyakashipu's desire. Now, taking the opportunity of being accompanied by all the demigods and great saintly persons, Brahma went there to award him the benediction he desired. And a little longer purports, bigger purports. Verse. Nada darsha pratichanam valmika trina kitchakai pipiri kabir achernam medastvan mamsa shonitam tapantam tapasalokan yatabar pihitam ravim vilakshya vismita praha ham hasam stam hamsa vahana. Translation: Lord Brahma, who is carried by a swan airplane, at first could not see where Hiranyakashipu was. For Hiranyakashipu's body was covered by an anthill and by grass and bamboo sticks. Because Hiranyakashipu had been there for a long time, the ants had devoured his skin, fat, flesh, and blood. Then Lord Brahma and the demigods spotted him, resembling a cloud-covered sun, heating all the world by his austerity. Struck with wonder, Lord Brahma began to smile and then addressed him as follows. Purport: the living entity can live merely by his own power, without the help of skin, marrow, bone, blood, and so on, because it is said, Asangoyam Purusha, the living entity has nothing to do with material covering. Hiranyakashipu performed a severe type of tapasya austerity for many long years. Indeed, it is said that he performed the tapasya for 100 heavenly years. Since one day of a demigod equals 6 of our months, certainly this was a very long time. By nature's own way, his body had been almost consumed by earthworms, ants, and other parasites, and therefore even Brahma was at first was unable to see him. Later, however, Brahma could ascertain where Hiranyakashipu was, and Brahma was struck with wonder to see Hiranyakashipu's extraordinary power to execute tapasya. Anyone would conclude that Hiranyakashipu was dead because his body was covered with so many ways. But Lord Brahma, the supreme living being in this universe, could understand that Hiranyakashipu was alive but covered by material elements. It is also to be noted that although Hiranyakashipu performed this austerity for a long, long time, he was nonetheless known as Daitya and Rakshasa. It will be seen from verses to follow that even great saintly persons could not perform such a severe type of austerity. Why then was he called a Rakshasa or Daitya? It is because whatever he did was for his own sense gratification. His son Prahlad Maharaj was only 5 years old, and so what could Prahlada do? Yet simply he performed a little devotional service according to the instructions of Narada Muni. Prahlad became so dear to the Lord that the Lord came to save him, whereas Hiranyakashipu, in spite of his austerities, was killed. This is the difference between devotional service and the other methods of perfection. One who performs severe austerities for sense gratification is fearful to the entire world, whereas a devotee who performs even a slight amount of devotional service is a friend to everyone, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Since the Lord is the well-wisher of every living entity, and since a devotee assumes the qualities of the Lord, a devotee also acts for everyone's good fortune by performing devotional service. Thus, although Hiranyakashipu performed such a severe austerity, he remained a Daitya and a Rakshasa, whereas Prahlad Maharaj, although born of the same Daitya father, became the most exalted devotee and was personally protected by the Supreme Lord. Bhakti is therefore called Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam, indicating that a devotee is freed from all material designations and Anyabilashita Shunyam, situated in a transcendental position, free from all material desires. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamagyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shiv Shakam Vitam Sha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashata Deshatharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so we have a very nice opportunity to dive into Srimad Bhagavatam, which is... Do I have to wait for you?
Not every time, you can speak quite a bit.
Okay, but mostly everyone understand English? Who does not? Please raise a hand.
Just one problem.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So we have a nice opportunity to dive deep into Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam actually is, you can consider it a really rare opportunity and rare knowledge you won't find elsewhere to actually know about reality, or in more particular that reality is formed by supreme consciousness or God consciousness, and that eventually the consciousness is an element of God. Actually, nature, as the verse says, that we studied in a purport, right? That the very nature of a living being is that of a consciousness, and the consciousness, nature of consciousness, is that of a supreme consciousness, higher type of consciousness, all-pervading consciousness. So therefore, consciousness means Krishna consciousness by its nature. We, as a particle, small amount of consciousness emanate from supreme Krishna consciousness. So our natural position is to be situated in that original pure consciousness, Krishna consciousness, to revive that purity, right? Because we're covered or contaminated by association of material nature. So the prayer goes Om Jnana Timirandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya. Yes, we have to admit we all been born in ignorance, in darkness, right? In more particular, we study now Hiranyakashipu's dominion, how he, by hard labor and austerity and persecution, by demanding from demigods, he gained his position of Lord over all, And we are not exception. Today and by this time and place, actually, we can check that we also go in the schools and we learn from the very same schools arranged by Hiranyakashipu. Since it's actually Prahlad Maharaj in 7th canto explains very nicely what is the nature of a living being that it adopts to fall in the asuric consciousness, or consciousness that developing a nature which is not favoring anyone, and God's culture also, So the basic principle is that Prabhupada explains that it's mamata principle. It's the very same principle of being born in ignorance. We've been born in ignorance, we have no enlightenment, no knowledge of self-purification, we have no knowledge of who we are, so we've been born in a trick, most of us, in illusion. And we being educated also altogether to increase our darkness altogether, So that's a big illusion, and that's Hiranyakashipu's school that we went, all of us, we went and studied from Hiranyakashipu's Bhagavad Gita's, purports by Hiranyakashipu, you heard of? It's not to Krishna you have to surrender. So we all learned that, So we all products of, Hiranyakashipu's schooling. So eventually, the souls that chant and dance in Lord Chaitanya's kirtan, and gradually at least going towards stepping their steps for purification, they have some sincerity. They understood that maybe world shouldn't be that dark. Maybe it shouldn't be that bad as it is. There must be some hope, must be some light, must be some good about life. And that's true. There is something good about life. And God, there is God, and God is Krishna, and Krishna is all good. Krishna is absolute, and it's reasonable, because everything has to come out of something, and just the fact that some things are manufactured, or even the nature, how it functions, the plants are growing, all the processes happening automatically, miraculously. Greatest mechanics cannot repeat what mechanisms are there already in the nature working automatically. Right? The plant photosynthesis, all the chemical, reactions, everything. The scientists write books about it. They investigate, many formulas, and they agree that world been created by a smart person. That the world has been created by a smart, intelligent person, who actually, is a great. Mathematicians say that a creator is a mathematician, perfect mathematician, because you can find mathematics working everywhere, right? It's today's philosophy, just numbers, economy, more particular. So again, the main reason why we adopt, going back to the source of a problem here of asura and sura, the devotee and demon, that we get a schooling where we learn about this world without God. And the nature of a living being is that of a God, that God is most attractive. God is Krishna. And he enjoys. Krishna likes to enjoy. And spiritual world is transcendental enjoyment, service going on. Everyone's engaged in ecstatic, blissful kirtan. Everyone forgets any body contamination, or other type of relationship, illicit or so on. It's just a pure kirtan happening. And eventually, so Shastra describes spiritual world as big gold mine in comparison, big gold mine. And here in material world, we have a small part of it. We can find a small gold part. Enjoyment is compared like a small part of a gold mine. So if you really want to enjoy, Prabhupada says, you go to gold mine. You get anything you want. But here in this world, you can derive just a very small part of that gold mine. So. But since we still have this nature, as a soul, so our consciousness is spiritual by its nature. It's still the same as God, this gold, but small. Therefore, we also want to enjoy. We also have a nature of enjoyment. So this is the main problem here in the material world. We are the souls, but in the material world. We are the souls who want to enjoy worshipping Lord, but in this world, God is hidden from us. Because Hiranyakashipu made his schooling perfectly. He arranged schooling very nicely, So the attraction in this world, there is attraction, but the source of attraction is hidden from us, right? Krishna is the source of attraction, and he is hidden. Therefore, we're just like our flies running around looking for the way out, right? Trying to solve our problems by many means, by economic development, politics, nothing will work. History shows that many times ago, even back to Sumerian civilization, looking that much back, they used to build like these zikkuratas, right? Zikkurata, they used to have civilization has a tendency, whatever it builds up, due to powerful economic development, worship of demigods, they present the idea that we will reach the heaven by our own means. We don't need God's help. So Zikkurata is also, building buildings to Stairway to heaven, heard of this term? Ravan had this concept also. Yeah. Hiranyakashipu's, I believe, incarnation also previous. He tried to build stairs to Svargalok. He said, I don't need to perform yagya to Vishnu. I myself will build it, you know. So today it's quite similar situation. We think we can be successful by our own means, you know. We will build our luck by ourselves. You know, that we don't need God for economics also. You know, we don't think that God provides. We have faith more in a mundane economy, working in factories, and so on. You know, if I want anything, I'll go work hard, and I will achieve what I want. But you know what Shastra says, what Krishna says? He says, actually, Krishna is pleased if we just pay respect to the cow. Yeah. If you just respect the cow, all the goals of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha is achievable. Just paying respects to a cow. So what does it say? What does it say? It says that maybe we don't need to work that hard and cruel way. You know, this ugra karma, promoting sinful activity, is destroying the world today. You know. It's just, you know, even just to travel with the train, you know, sometimes, which I often quite do, is not that much of a pleasant thing anymore. You see like maybe half of a view over the window, factories and smokes running, you know, and heavy ugra karma vision. And it brings a little bit of, you know, fear in the heart. Where are we heading? You know, it's robotic and mechanic reality. Some consider it's okay because then we can be very precise about truth. But the question is that truth that you derive have compassion? Does machine have a compassion? Can it have a compassion? You know, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought that compassion. And he's not a machine, he's not a robot, he's not some artificial program, you know. And Lord Nityananda, they're very merciful, you know. If they not give their mercy, we wouldn't be here having opportunity to study Bhagavatam and take prasadam and associate, think in Krishna conscious way. So the sugra karma or the, you know, you can call like a thorn that we're facing is actually the desire to be independent or to develop economy on our own. Since this world has been given for us for, you know, to fulfill our desire. And actually, even if we were rebellious to Lord Krishna, He is very merciful to us. And He said, yeah, if you agree with me, you can even be happy within this world. You just do yagya for me. Yeah, Krishna says he gave all the yagya process to perform, and He said, anything you need, demigods will provide, and you know, He makes it sure I'm the ultimate provider, but He said, all you need to get, you will get, and you'll be happy altogether. So He didn't say, you know, try to build up a factory and go to work hard, and forget about me, you know, eat, sleep, work. So it's not needed. Prabhupada says again and again, we don't need to work like ass and camels, and you know, who enjoy the cactus thorns. You know, the camel is famous to enjoy the thorns, to eat the thorns. I just checked yesterday on YouTube. It's really crazy. I mean, vision. Like, they really do eat like thorns, and they're very excited about it. Like, wow, big thorns. They're chewing it like anything. Why? Because the blood made by thorns, it gives him a taste of sweetness, and he thinks it's tasty. wow, thorns are so sweet. So we're trying also to enjoy this material, austerity of working hard your way to hell and drinking our own sweet blood, think that it's enjoyment, which is just a painful illusion, like, ridiculous illusion. Maya is just, teasing us like anything, like anything. So we have a chance to wake up. Since the mercy of great acharyas, in particular Srila Prabhupada, reaching out in the darkest corners of the Western world and bringing this, Bhagavata light, the light of Srimad Bhagavatam and Kirtan and all of this, his own mercy, association, everything. Since sound is so important element of consciousness, we agree that we are the consciousness, and the consciousness is Krishna consciousness. And if we hear from the pure source, then our consciousness will be revived. Hearing is the most important, since sound is most primeval, element. You can say like that. It's creative element. So, even Nikola Tesla, I believe, said that if you want to know reality, think in terms of vibrations, frequencies, and that's reality. And what do we say? What's our conclusion? Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtan. Yes, a vibration, but vibration originally emanates from Krishna's flute. Krishna creates everything. Krishna creates illusion also. Krishna creates illusion also. So it's our choice to get out of illusion, a sweet lap of illusion. It's very sweet to be sometimes ignorant, safe, dark corner, warm, and everything there in your dark corner. But eventually, the Vedic injunction and the push by the nature, push by illusory energy itself is get out. Tamasa majyotirmagama, go to the light. We have to go to the light. We have to move to the light. Because nothing in this world is stagnant. Everything will change. We'll be forced to move somewhere. And if we don't want to move to Krishna, then there's many other variety. Illusion can be variegated, but Krishna is also variegated. But, with Krishna is the real enjoyment. That's what we experience by observance, and we learn from the authorities and our own experience. Illusion is painful. So, the positive part of it that. By our own experience, by dedicating material benefit or whatever compromise we have to do within this Hiranyakashipu civilization, is that we can learn that dedicating your fruitive results to Lord Krishna will bring us to a higher platform, and that performing of a yagya, which is our life. We come here to do yagya, we come here to do austerity. When Lord Brahma first got born, he was in anxiety. What is this? Where am I? Where am I coming from? What's going on? He did he heard the instruction, tapa, perform austerity. You're in a material world, perform austerity. And Krishna makes it sure, perform it to me, to please me. Not like Hiranyakashipu, to own the universe, which is already, the owner was there, right? It was Brahma's universe. Hiranyakashipu wanted to conquer it. Hiranyakashipu wanted to take over someone else's property. And that is not so much actually, devotional behavior. Prabhupada said also nowadays so many wars are happening just because of this mamata, illusion of that something belongs to me. You know, there's so much divisions. This is my country, this is that country, this is my land, that land, that land. This money is mine, that money is yours, and I want that, and I want the whole universe eventually. But Prabhupada makes it clear we all conditioned, temporary, living beings trapped in a body, which body we can enjoy. This material asset is going to end up. We're all going to bankrupt. Repeating the message again, in material sense, we're going to bankrupt. You know, no material gain, we will take it with us. So, you know, and this land, the people try to conquer. After they go away, when they expire, the land will be still there, as it was before they got born, you know. They came into someone's land, that land belonged to someone else, and now they try to declare, this is my land. So Hiranyakashipu also, he got born and he said, okay, now this is my universe, Brahma. You know, give me the benedictions and get out. This is my universe now. But Hiranyakashipu also expired. So Hiranyakashipu also got finished by Lord Vishnu, by Narayan, Nrsingadev, you know, showed him his position. So the lesson is that, you know, Prahlad Maharaj, being a pure devotee, he taught that no matter how Hiranyakashipu was mad and crazy about power, he explained to Hiranyakashipu that all of your power you receive from the very source that I do. And that power is Vishnu. Yeah, the powerhouse, the supreme powerhouse is Vishnu. Right? So he distributes accordingly through his representatives, demigods, Brahma, Shiva. So, and after actually he benedicted Hiranyakashipu with immortality and all of this, you know, other benedictions. Lord Krishna, after killing Hiranyakashipu, instructed Lord Brahma not to give any more these type of benedictions to demons, because they cause a big trouble. And he had to descend just for Prahlad Maharaj. And he had to descend, Lord had to appear Paritanaya Sadhunam to protect his sadhu-like devotee Prahlad Maharaj. And, you know, because of his austerity, the whole world became, it said, like, he heated all the world by austerity. So these austerities, they make change in the universe. We can try to understand, you know, that even demigods go and complain to the Lord that something is not right. So austerity also, you know, the demons take up austerity. And we sometimes see a very mean, serious people, cold-hearted. You know, they're very austere. They're very austere. But they also like cold-hearted. They don't like devotional exchanges. So we can try to, you know, understand maybe austerity is bad. It's like something we really don't want at all. You won't find austere people in Golok Vrindavan, we can think, right? In Golok Vrindavan, everyone mellow, like Madhurya, you know, Bhav, you know. Austerity is not a feature of, you know, Gulab Jamun jar or something like. So, but Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that austerity is also wealth of a Brahmana. Wealth of a Brahmana is it's something that for Brahmana is very valuable. So Brahmanas are very dear to Lord Krishna.
Brahmanas sind sehr lieb zu Krishna.
We can say also that there's a tricky part that Ravan also was a Brahman, right?
Da ist ein tricky Part, dass Ravan auch ein
He knew all the Vedas, everything. I don't know about Hiranyakashipu. So there's devotee Brahmanas also. They also perform austerities.
die machen auch Austerität.
And it is not easy.
Das ist nicht einfach.
To maintain purity,
Selber.
it's not easy. You have to be austere.
Das ist nicht einfach.
Now, purity is not something that comes by random, you know.
Das ist nicht etwas, das einfach so kommt.
You have to push.
Du musst selber
You have to be always aware and conscious, and you know.
bewusst sein, immer aufmerksam.
So, austerity is not always bad, though addressed towards selfish motive, it's demonic.
Wenn man das macht für ein selbstisches Motiv, dann ist es schlecht.
Yeah, for example, someone wants to perform austerity just to become rich.
Bevor wir nur reich zu werden.
You know, you can be amazingly rich by performing austerity.
Du kannst ein großer, reicher Mann sein.
Srila Prabhupada actually said that Gandhi managed to drive away all the British army from India just because he was very austere.
Der hat geschafft, die ganze britische Armee aus Indien rauszutreiben, nur weil er so war.
Yeah, in particularly he observed celibacy and all these things, you know. But then Prabhupada actually chastised and criticized Gandhi that he did it for political reasons. Political reasons, right? He used his, you know, spiritual assets for defending a material concept.
Für politische und materielle Konzepte aufrechtzuerhalten.
So it's very clear that, you know, political solution there is no.
Ja, es ist sehr klar, dass politische Lösungen
To solve all the main problem in today's world
alle Probleme zu lösen.
or a million of years, that day's world, there was no also political solution. There was only we have to learn, you know, spiritual concept of thinking. We have to learn how to be a devotee of the Lord. That's, you know, individual understanding of that I am a part of God. And my duty is to bring pleasure to the God.
Meine Pflicht ist es, Krishna zufriedenzustellen.
And this is solving all the problems altogether. Of course, we can see that Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was established as the ruler of the world and demanded his political situation. You know, the king, even godly king, he has a politics. But the situation that he's 10%, 100% God consciousness, he was considered God, living God on earth.
Er war auch 100% Gott. Er wurde wahrgenommen.
You know, Yudhishthir was the son of Yamaraj, Dharmaraj. His other name was Dharmaraj. That means he performed his duty very precisely, very nicely, according to Shastra. Therefore, in his kingdom, it's described that there was no lamentation, no misery, and nature used to provide everything that was needed. Just because of a performing of duty, the living entities would receive anything they desired. And if anyone had some, you know, problem, they could go approach a king. Yeah, anyone was welcome to approach the king. You know, if someone is wrong in the family, if, for example, son is sick or children died or anyone, they blame the king. It's a king's fault. Yeah. Yeah. To cut down a tree, you know, you have to get permission from a king. Anyone, every living entity has to be protected by king in Vedic society. You know, and if someone actually out of his own independence whimsically takes life from someone, there was a accordant punishment. And just because the king is living by the law of the Lord, You know, the punishment was execution. Yeah, death is punished by death. It's not a joke, huh? Scary. So Prabhupada in the first canto says that by this day, today in Kali Yuga, everyone has to be executed by the law of God.
Jeder muss bestraft werden.
Yeah. Because everyone is just whimsical to take away the life of anyone they like.
Jeder wartet einfach, dass jemand was antanzt.
Hey, humane rights are still there a little bit. But animals, anyone else, they don't care anymore. Oh yeah, in America, if you kick a dog, you can get to a jail. Yeah, that's the. Yeah. But anything else is just not anymore like value. So it's a nature of that it's not by our arrangement. We can create whatever laws, speculative laws we can try in this world to proceed our economics, but the nature is functioning by superior laws, the laws of a creator, of Krishna. All the universe is functioning by the laws of creator of the universe, in Krishna, Vishnu, Narayan. So therefore, we have to abide those laws because that's how it functions in actual sense. We cannot speculate reality, which we're trying to do now. Prabhupada therefore says, take it as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is. So as within, so without. A devotee who's not duplicious, we're not duplicious. Devotee means not duplicious. He's inside and outside is the same. So since, Prabhupada explained that in Kali Yuga everyone has to be executed basically, because of accumulated karma, these wars manifest. As a form of, basically, Mother Nature is working on her own without a king's interaction, because there's no strong people, no strong kings to actually stand up for that. Mother Nature works on her own. In the form of Durga, she brings out the wars and eliminates the burden. But we have a solution. Shastra has a solution, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought that solution altogether. He said, just chant holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And it's confirmed by the Shastra, believe it or not. Once chanted holy name eradicates a lot of that accumulated negativity, karma, everything. Basically, you'll be saved. That's confirmed by Yamaraj himself. If a pure devotee says, which is Yamaraj, he's a pure devotee. He explains, my dear, Yamadutas, don't bring to me people who even once chanted holy name in their life. That's a statement of Shastra and Yamaraj himself, death personified. So we just have to have faith. If we have faith, no problem. Are we convinced about the Shastra? This is where the distinction comes. Prabhupada explains there's two types of living entities. There's the devotees and demons. Yeah, and who's a demon? Who can say who's a demon? I know I'm demon, but you can. Well, in some sense, yeah, it's in some sense. in that pastime of Mohini Murti, even Lord Shiva got bewildered. But we cannot call Lord Shiva, opposing Lord Krishna. He's completely pure devotee. He's on the list of Mahajanas. He's completely pure. He's a topmost Vaishnava. Topmost Vaishnava. But the lesson is that this world is a kingdom of Maya. Everyone is bewildered by Maya. Everyone is running after Maya. But the devotee is the one who takes injunction or instruction of a Shastra. So demon, he doesn't care about Shastra. The Vedic instructions, regulations, prescribed in the Shastra, they don't care. They say, anyone can write anything. But a devotee, he thinks, okay, I'm in Maya, I'm in kingdom of Maya. I have to be careful, I have to be careful with the fire. Oh my! Even Lord Shiva got bewildered. That's a lesson for me, I have to be careful after running after these sensual objects, right? Maybe my life is for repentance. Maybe my life is for purification. Maybe my life is for turning back to light, to Krishna, So yeah, take it up. And devotee who's fully convinced actually about Shastra, and he doesn't want to step even outside instructions of the great sages. All the great sages, all the great devotees, 12 Mahajanas, they instruct carefully how to avoid, contamination of illusion. So, yeah, therefore, Shastra recommends that we perform austerity to please the Lord, and our austerity is, 4 regulations, and chanting 16 rounds could be austere. But eventually, if you please acharyas, if you please spiritual master, it's just you get huge award, and it's ecstatic, it becomes ecstatic. And the more we advance, the more austerity is there, because more responsibility is there. But then you find it meaningful, because that austerity actually changes, make a change in this world. So a saintly person, brahmanas, gurus, sannyasis, they purify everything around by their dedication to Lord Krishna, which is not austerity for them anymore. Their own austerity becomes their nature, but the main austerity is to interact with people who are in ignorance, is the most difficult part. Who are fully convinced about atheistic life, materialistic life. And even those who try to walk to the light, they have to reconvince. We're still being educated. The vegetables produced by Hiranyakashipu, basically. He formed this concept, what our aversity to the Lord, it's, we have to resign our authorities, materialistic authorities. Take only one authority, actually 3, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, that's our authorities. Then we stand firmly on three legs, like camera stand, like this stand, three legs. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Then firmly, you stand firmly in devotional life. So, Hare Krishna. Maybe I end here, and questions, answers, 2, 3 questions. Srila Prabhupada ki. Criticism, anything.
It seems that this is a dark age right now, and there is a lot of war. So
Can you speak louder?
sure. I mean, there's a lot of war and there is a lot of destruction. So it seems that this is the only way that which gives Chaitanya to us, no? Because I mean, so many other ways are meant to be destructive, meant to lead us into a hole of taking drugs or becoming proud of our seems that it's the only way to get out of this apocalyptical
Der einzige Weg,
state of being of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are farms.
Yeah. Kali Yuga becomes more and more intense, and after 10,000 years will pass, will be really horrible. Economic development will be, the woman will bear a child to have lunch, like that. Will bring about children for this world for food, So it's horrible. So better take advantage now what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, and achieve perfection, go to perfection. So for still you mentioned also farms. You also mentioned we have to just learn to live according to the laws of God. And unfortunately, the society is not arranged according to the laws of God. It's unfortunately. It's this is why most people they are not happy. They can arrange materially some situation that they'll become sensually, satisfied. But ultimate happiness they will not derive, just like Prabhu, Akinchan Krishna Prabhu mentioned in the class day before yesterday. He said he had an old friend musician who, just like that quickly got, millions, became millionaire. But at the end he was like, he had no safety, That's what devotees have, devotee association, sadhu sangha. Very intimate association and revealing secrets with each other, realizations about Krishna. When I chanted japa, did you know what I read in Bhagavatam? That exchange. That no one can buy, With no money you can buy. And people with money, they are afraid in any association, even within their own home. They know that these people only want money. They don't want to get something from me. So again, economic development, again, That's a big obstacle. It's just a very the lesson the rich man can learn is how actually usually people approach the most richest person. Most richest person is Krishna, Bhagavan. Anyway, Krishna is Bhagavan, he's most rich, he owns all the riches. We can become rich, but in some tiny part. And eventually, we can learn that many, many people would approach us if we become prominent and rich. People will approach us just to get something out of us. They will notice our motivation, why he wants to be close to me. And, what is his goal? And, he will check him 100 times. So Krishna, our God, he's also, he doesn't allow anyone get close to him for material benefit. It's not attractive to him. It doesn't. Just imagine you have a friend. You're rich and you have a friend. You get your monthly payment from your job, and you know that friend's gonna call you. You wake up in the morning and before Mangalarati, phone rings. Oh, it's again him, And you pick up, okay, how much you need? And the friend says, hey, can you lend me some money, Same old story. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. So that friend, when he rings your phone, it's like your heart is not overjoyed, right?
Weiß, wenn dein Handy klingelt von diesem Freund, dann ist dein Herz nicht so.
But imagine if you receive a call every morning
Aber stell dir vor, du kriegst einen Anruf jeden Morgen
of a friend
von einem Freund,
that says, "Hey, what I can do to you today?
der zu dir sagt, hey, was kann ich heute für dich tun?
You know, how can I please you? How can I make you happy?
Wie kann ich dich zufriedenstellen?
I'm here to serve you fully. You
Ich bin hier, um dir zu dienen.
know, you're very dear to me.
Das ist sehr wichtig für mich.
You know, so imagine that of a friend.
Stell dir vor,
Probably you would like to save his number and keep it close, right?
wahrscheinlich möchtest du seine Nummer einspeichern.
So Bhagavan Krishna, you know, he allows to go close to him those pure devotees, Paramahamsas, completely pure, and that is a Mahajana Pantha. We follow Mahajanas and follow pure devotees by their example,
And that's the way out.
and that's the way out. Yes, that's the only way out. Pure devotional service, and we have to take advantage of Lord Narayan here before us, Lord Krishna, in form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. They're giving us the easiest way out, the most easiest bargain, most cheapest bargain. You know, you just obey a little bit, and Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awards you amazingly, amazingly. So, what to speak of those who are enthusiastically running to please them? What to speak of those? Yeah. And our Guru Parampara, you know, they're guarding everything really nicely to be performed in a pleasing way to Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Because someone is that merciful is also extremely valuable for a pure devotee.
Chaitanya ist so unheimlich, er ist sehr wichtig, sehr wertvoll für
You know, if we realize their position, we will keep it carefully, you know, or you know, try to preach about them in a careful way. They are the lords of the universe. Yeah. And they give a very simple way, just to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Believe it or not, just this simple process pleases them so much. Therefore, Sankirtan Yaga is the easiest way. The holy name. Yeah. Anyone else wants to ask? Or? We mentioned. Yeah, you mentioned, you know, some other confessions also, this Prabhu. I mean, continuing his, I have 3 minutes, right? 3, 4 minutes. So it's, if we take up the path of purity, you know, the acharyas are teaching us and stressing again. Srila Prabhupada being a completely pure devotee, without no material tinge, he stresses again and again in his purports. 4 regulations. Then you're able to see God. But nowadays we don't see in other confessions this being promulgated, preached. In the streets, just back in Riga in Latvia, I preached to a group of Christians. And they always defend their view that Jesus being the God. And I said, but Jesus, you know, right on cross, he said, Father, your will, but not my will be done, you know. and many, many other statements that are obvious that him being the Son of God. And eventually they still argue till the last bits. But I explained to him that, listen, if you want to know God, you just have to follow Jesus. If you follow completely what He has given to you, you will know who's God. Because God cannot be approached with a material tinge. It cannot be approached like that. And you know what they responded to me? They said, forget about it. He said, no one is following. I said, 10 commandments, but how about that? He said, oh no, that's not possible. He even laughed. It's like, not possible. He said, don't think that anyone is following. We don't have to follow. He's preaching. So the problem that the hope is lost. People don't even think it's possible. Same as with the Mohammedans. They have their own regulations, but all of them they think it's just like a story tale. Someone did it in the past. It's not for us. It's just So it's just like that. We have to take it up. If you want truth, if you want spiritual life, we have to follow what's in the Shastra, what Acharya is teaching us. And that's a foundation of spiritual life. And that's the austerity we're taking. Srila Prabhupada made it clear that there's nothing to renounce in this world. Nothing to renounce. This world the nature is, all of it is from Krishna. We cannot renounce it. What we are doing here is we're purifying our attachment. We learn that what I am attached by its nature is Krishna, and that's when we're going to Krishna. That we attach to Krishna, we're part of Krishna. We cannot detach our attachment to Krishna, which is by its origin is that. If we see this world as Krishna also, energy of Krishna, then we learn that we have to only serve the energy, not to abuse the energy. The abusing energy part is the consciousness of Hiranyakashipu, and the servant consciousness is that of a Prahlad Maharaj. And we have to learn to serve the energy. That he is abusing the energy. Yeah, so that's a difference. Again, devotee and demon. And so therefore we don't renounce anything, but we purify our attachment and, purify our vision. We're here to perform austerity of not committing sinful activity. That's our austerity. A devotee never performs sinful activity. A completely pure devotee, he can do whatever he likes. Sometimes it's a famous saying, a Vaishnava is someone hard to understand. You can see in some Vaishnavas, they call avadutas and they behave in a complete, sometimes even, extraordinary ways. It's just because they're actually on the platform, transcendental platform, they can do whatever they like. Yeah. But still they will never perform sinful activity because they achieve that position to actually establish example for others. They are careful. Especially aligned, the exalted devotees, they are very careful in order to preach. Easy, steps to make for liberation. Hare Krishna, I think I said everything and went over time. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki.
Jagathisvara Das Guru ki